Hey, Alexis Love Beauties and Flawless Man. Today we're going to talk about the difference between an abscess and a boil, and then also I'll be giving you just a few tips on how you can treat them. This information is coming from our health book. I don't have the whole book right here today, so I did just take some general notes to help us understand. As always, do your extended research. So an abscess is formed when pus accumulates in a tissue, organ, or a confined space in the body due to infection. Abscess can be located internally and or externally, and they can form on the brain, the lungs, the teeth, the gums, underarms, the abdominal wall, gastrointestinal tract, the ears, the tonsils, the bones, the breast, the prostate glands, kidneys. Abscess can form anywhere in the inside or the outside of the body. There is two different types of abscess. You can have an acute abscess, which those just happen out of nowhere. It could possibly happen within a few hours or overnight. They usually go away in a few days. Or you can have a chronic abscess. The chronic abscess is going to probably need medication, and that's going to last longer. Now, the abscess may result from an injury or a lower resistance of infection. So you can get this abscess due to, having an injury or a low grade infection, which could be some type of bacteria, some type of virus that's going on in the body that accumulates this pus that can be formed anywhere on the inside or the outside of the body. And with that, it can be two different types of that infection. You can have an acute infection that's temporary, or you can have a chronic infection that's going to last for a minute, and you may have to get that treated. In conclusion, if you see any pus buildup on your body or in general, then again, if it's some type of infection or bacteria, then that's something that we need to do our extended research on and heal and cure that, because we shouldn't be having pus accumulate anywhere. Pus is not, it's natural due to infection, so it's not something that we should just have. So basically, an abscess is a sign that the body is trying to rid itself of impurities. Again, when we have these different smells, maybe we're musty, maybe we're a little heavier smelling in the genital area, instead of us just, keep on taking baths or covering it up with sprays and deodorants, we need to figure out the underlying issue. So you might have to take a break from deodorant. Sometimes people, oh my God, that sounds so crazy. How I'm going to go out here. What if I be sweating? I sweat heavy. Again, you have to do your extended research on your canvas and what's going on with your body, so you can know exactly what it is that you need to heal. Because we shouldn't stink without having on something. When we were born, we didn't have on something. I understand getting older, you're eating different things. That is the problem that we have. It's the way that we eat. It's the way that we take care of ourselves. So this is why you can get it on the inside or the outside. So just a few things to prevent getting this abscess. You can take zinc, colloidal silver, vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin C, the B complex. Again, just a healthy diet in general will prevent us from getting any type of, dirty type of buildup like pus. Now, a boil is a round formed nodule that's full of pus, but this happens deep within the skin, comes from a certain infection. So a boil comes from a staph infection, and they have the whole word here. I'll try to pronounce it. The real word of this bacteria is a Staphylococcus aureus. I'll spell it out so you can do your extended research. It's Staphylococcus That's the type of staph bacteria that you get from a boil. Again, so a boil and abscess can kind of look the same, but they're built up differently in the body. And this boil comes from an infection that begins at the deepest part of a hair follicle or in an oil-producing sebaceous gland, and it comes on the surface of the skin. This boil can be due to poor nutrition, illness that's suppressing the immune system, poor hygiene, and the use of immunosuppressive drugs. That's common to get a boil from that. Boils are contagious. So the pus dust and boils, if it has to open up and drain itself and then it comes in contact with somebody else, you can actually get a boil from somebody else. So the difference between an abscess and a boil, it's both due to some type of infection in the body. But with an abscess, you can get an abscess out of nowhere. You can, Lord forbid, run your foot into a table and then you can get this pus build up, this abscess. That could be acute and it can go over in a few days. But if you run your foot into a table, Lord forbid, and that abscess, that boil stays there for an extended period of time, it could be due to a lower grade infection that just now is showing out in the body because it had this run in. So it's like, hey, I've been needing you to pay attention to me anyway because I've been trying to detox, and now that you see something is going on, then maybe you should take us to the doctor so we can see what the problem is. Which a boil is also due to a bacteria infection, a certain bacteria infection, and this pus is contagious, and this accumulates deep within the hair follicle. So you can get a boil from shaving. I've had a boil from shaving, and that happens because the hair is not being pulled from the body like it needs to. It's not being properly pulled from the follicle, so you're shaving it probably the wrong way. Then you get an ingrown hair. Now this pus is building up. Maybe we're using a razor, so now it's this bacteria, it's this infection. They're kind of the same, but they're kind of different. You can have an abscess anywhere in the mouth, especially due to poor oral hygiene. Just anywhere in the body you can get an abscess. I remember me and my dental hygienist was just speaking about that not too long ago, like abscess in the mouth, and we were just having a general conversation about different things. So I know that to be true. You can get that in the mouth due to poor hygiene. And then with the boil, those just come basically, again, you can have a boil pretty much anywhere, but it usually has somewhere to do with like oil, if you produce a lot of oil, or basically in like a hair follicle. It's pretty much the same treatment for a boil as well. Zinc, colloidal silver, vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin C, and then also they said pineapples, because pineapples has an enzyme that is good to fight inflammation. So in conclusion, this buildup of pus, these boils that we see, these abscesses that we see, they're kind of different, but they could, resemble each other. In conclusion, we have to eat better, take better care of ourselves. If you smell something, just figure out what it is, where it's coming from, and why it's happening, instead of just covering it up. Because when different things begin to come out of your body and it's showing you different signs, that is the body saying, hey, it's something going on that's been underlying here. We might have an immune problem. We might have some vitamin deficiency. So, now I'm showing you this through your skin. I'm showing you this through your health. For each and every person, do your extended research, figure out what it is that you need, and if you see anything that has been prolonged, again, even with just the abscess, if it comes out, then it goes back into the body, that doesn't mean that the infection is gone. So if you see a boil or abscess and it's been there for a while, or maybe it just it disappears right back into the same body. So it could reoccur as well. So it's just going to be better to figure out the underlying issue of this. Do I have some type of bacteria, some type of infection going on to where this like reoccurs, or am I shaving wrong? Do I need to learn how to wax? Like, what is it that I need to do so I do not have these different things going on in my body? Do your extended research for your body. God bless you. Alexis loves you. Mwah.